Today, I'm going to be exposing YouTube by showing you exactly how much I made from 1 million views. I was talking to a business partner and it occurred to me that people generally have no idea how much YouTubers can actually make and how lucrative it can be to invest in becoming a YouTuber. So I asked on my Instagram and the results were all over the place. Now it's not quite all glitz and glamour, but it can be. Today, I'm gonna expose it all, nothing held back. You'll see exactly how much YouTube is paying me for one of my top performing videos, the stats and all. Before we jump in, I gotta tell you something though. I'm not like a typical YouTuber in so many ways. My content's in the business space, so it's a high traffic value market on YouTube. And as you'll see, I have quite the epic monetization strategy on my content. You'll see what I mean by that in just a bit when I start walking through the stats. What I'm saying here is I'm making more than the average mass market YouTuber out there per view. Now the video in question is this one where I show you exactly how to use AI to make thousands of YouTube shorts in no time at all. By the way, if you haven't watched it, give it a watch. It's a great tutorial, tons of people have created some really epic videos with it, and I think you'll genuinely get some value out of it if you want to make short content and learn how to use AI. A couple quick notes here on this video though. This video is over 10 minutes, so it's able to really take advantage of good monetization with more than just 1 or 2 ad spots. Also, this video is one of my first videos, so it wasn't actually monetized until it already had over 300,000 views. So let's start taking a look here on September 4th, the very first day after I got an email from YouTube saying my partner program application was accepted, meaning monetization was fully enabled. It was a pretty epic day and I celebrated by just working on another video right away. Now I ended that day with almost 83,000 views and YouTube paid me a whopping $118, give or take. Now that might sound really cool, but it's only $1.42 per 1,000 views. That's a ton of viewers just to pay for a medium coffee before I pay taxes. But let's take a look at November 4th, just 2 months later and a few more videos posted. I had 10,000 views on that day with this video and it made me $68.43. Now that sounds bad on the face of it, I 100% agree. I made half as much on that day. But when you really look at it, I made over 4.5 times more per 1,000 views. I was now making enough every 1,000 views to pay for my coffee and an Egg McMuffin. And all it really took to get there was a few tweaks, some optimization, and a bunch of testing to ramp up revenue. I'm showing this to you so you know what you're about to see is going to be a bit out of the norm. You're going to see some drastic changes month over month from our testing and implementation of our monetization strategy. Much like life, YouTube revenue generation isn't just a straight line up. It's a rocky road. Something crazy to note here, my first 5 days after posting this video, I only had 36 views. To be completely honest, I thought my growth theory behind making this channel was starting to fail and I was really beginning to shift my approach. And it took a while for it to kick into gear, but as you can see, once it did, it took off like a rocket and just crushed it. It went from 36 views in the first 5 days to over 6,000 views in the 5 days after that. Let's go ahead and dive into September, the first full month that I was actually monetized. Now I was monetized 4 days into the month, but with over 850,000 views after being monetized, this one video made me just over $2,000 in ad revenue alone, while also growing my channel by over 15,000 subscribers. It was just mind-blowing how quickly it ramped up and started generating cash, but also left me completely shell-shocked on how much you all love the content. By the way, make sure you watch the last few seconds of this video if you want to get some free money. More on that later. Now let's look at October, where we implemented our new monetization strategy for ads and where our revenue per 1,000 views absolutely skyrocketed and started to increase. As you can see, with almost 100,000 less views in October, we still made $1,500 more than we did in September. Basically, less views, less subscribers, but we still made more revenue. It was kind of crazy, but we just massively optimized the way we monetized every single view, and it really showed in October. And it got even better again in November. With half the views of October, we still did over $2,400, more than we made in all of September with half as many views. This monetization strategy was originally designed to help smaller channels, but it was great to see it in action and its impact month over month. Now I will go ahead and tell you a little bit more about our monetization strategy beyond ad revenue on YouTube, because I'm sure as many of you know, we have an email list, we have a bunch of other stuff going on behind the scenes that you just don't see on YouTube. Also, a quick shout out to sign up for our resources below that gets you access to that email list so you can see some of the stuff we're doing. But let's talk about where this video is to date. just over 100 days since hitting publish, this video has just over 2 million monetized views and has made over $8,000 just in ad revenue alone. That's about $4,000 per million views. But a majority of it, over $6,000 of that 8,000, actually came from the most recent million views after we launched our monetization strategy. So if you really look at the last million views that we've had, YouTube actually paid us $6,000 for that million views. We're basically making 3 times more for every view we get than when we first started. I won't dive too deep into the back end of all the other ways we're generating revenue because it gets really messy with other videos and how much stuff we have going on. But this one video has made about 4 times more in additional revenue through sponsors, affiliates, digital products, and services than it did in YouTube ad revenue. And that's just what we've been able to track back manually. There's a ton more indirect. And all it cost me when I really look at the launch of this channel is a good bit of time, and I want to make the most awesome videos I could while sharing great knowledge. So if you want to learn a lot more about how I'm monetizing, the strategy being used to maximize our monetization, and everything else going on behind the scenes, comment monetization down below and I'll make a video breaking all of this down.